So the dark side of spirituality, the dark night of the soul. We're going to talk about 4 hazardous traps to avoid in this if you're going to go through this experience in the right way. If you're stuck and if you're struggling in this moment, then this is the video for you. So we're going to talk about 4 hazardous traps that you are going to experience in your dark night of the soul. Please bear in mind that dark night of the soul is not just a one-time thing. You will experience many in your life because that's the way you expand and that's the way you become damn beautiful as a person. It's the suffering that makes the person a wonderful gift to everybody else. And if we've got an ego inside of us, we can't see that yet. And I do have an ego, and so I struggle with that too. So don't worry, don't put me on some sort of pedestal. If you do, I will fall from it. So don't bother for the sake of me and you. Nonetheless, we're going to give you 4 hazardous traps. We're going to give you the most important one at the end, so please make sure you stay tuned for this whole video so that you can garner all the nutrients from it and then you can put it into action into your life, because we're going to show you exactly what not to do, and then from that you can garner what to do. Before we dive into this, I just want to bring your attention down below to the free complimentary Freedom Toolkit. I didn't need to say free and complimentary, they both mean the same things, but there you go, it's free. I've made it for you. It's a starter kit for you should you wish. Also, we know this path is hard, and it's like in any journey, if you want to get to a certain destination faster, then you need a guide or a map, and that's what the Freedom Blueprint is about down below. We can do it together. I can take your hand and show you what to do, but you've got to be willing to do the work, and so you can apply for that down below to see if we're a good match should you wish. The first trap in the dark night of the soul. Before I do that, I think I should describe what the dark night of the soul is. It is a spiritual rite of passage. You cannot avoid it, although you want to, you can't, unfortunately, and it's something that needs to happen to make you the person you're meant to be. And actually, the person you're meant to be, using those colloquial terms, is not necessarily a person. It's not a personality structure. In fact, this whole process is about coming away from that personality structure just a touch, so that we can be really, truly, authentically what I am, my true nature. What we've done is disconnected from that. You know, your true nature will come with its own challenges, but it will be what you are, and therefore, because it's what you are, it's what you want too, and it'll be certainly what you need. This first trap then is avoidance of pain. The only way out of the dark night of the soul is in. And we can spend, and I did spend, in my first dark night of the soul, in fact it could have been the second, the really dark one for me, and I spent a good year avoiding pain, heading into alcoholism and some other stuff. Sure, I'm the only one, right? And so that was a painful moment, and what I would do when the pain would come was I would try and avoid that pain by going into whatever it is that we do. Insert your thing here, because we all do it, and if you don't think you do it, you're lying to yourself, so get honest. Because a lot of people can throw a lot of judgment around, can't they, thinking, oh, I'm better than you or whatever because I don't do that thing, and it's like, yeah, well, get honest with yourself, look, because you are doing it. In many, many different ways. We're going to talk about some more subtle ways in a moment, so if you think you're not doing this, that's cool, we'll catch you out. And that's not the intention, but we just want to bring a structure so that you can see very clearly in the light of day, oh, I'm doing that, oh, and this is holding me in the pain. Okay, well then that empowers me so I know what to do to get out of it. We avoid pain. The only way out is in, and so we have to feel the pain. Which leads me to this second hazardous trap, and this one is more subtle, but it's very much linked to that avoidance of pain. It is the non-acceptance of my perceived limitations. What do I mean? What you avoid has power over you, isn't it? Have you noticed that? How if I'm in something, really struggling with something, if I'm rejecting it and pushing it down, it just keeps coming back. Oh, I thought I was done with this. No, of course I wasn't done with this. All I did was put it down. I didn't do the proper work to get rid of it. Not really get rid of it, but to accept it. Because in the acceptance, paradoxically, it will leave. Having said that, Non-acceptance of my perceived limitations means what? It means I'm feeling pain because I believe something to be true about myself that isn't. And a big one, is I'm not good enough. And if we don't accept that I'm not good enough, or if we don't accept that I have an extremely low self-esteem, if I can't accept that, I'm in denial, isn't it? I'm avoiding it. And so first of all, we have to really accept, okay, fine, maybe I am not good enough, and pray to God and hope to dear high heaven that it isn't true. But remember, it's your borrowed creation. And because you created it and manifested it through the vehicle of being introduced to others that imprinted these beliefs when you were too young to be able to process them, doesn't seem fair, does it? But we're not here for blame, because the only way to change it is to take responsibility, to accept it, isn't it? If I put blame in it, I've given power away. I'm avoiding the feeling and giving power away to the person who I'm blaming, and therefore it's your fault and I don't have any energy to change it. So this isn't going to cut it. We have to be strong, and that's what this experience is doing. It's making you strong. Life just wants to make you strong, because you're going to need a strong foundation to be able to serve the people that you need to serve in this life. And if we're avoiding pain, we can't do that as effectively. So we must kind of accept that I'm not good enough. Because paradoxically, as soon as I do that, I take all the power away from it. And then where's it gone? Where's it gone? It doesn't exist. So, the third hazardous trap to avoid, These are all very linked, but just different perspectives of the same thing. Negotiating with life. You ever do that? Like a secret negotiation with life. Oh, I'll only do this if you give me this. Or sometimes you do bets with life, or you flip a coin, you go, oh, if it's heads, it's destiny. And then it must be, and I'll go and do this thing that I know I shouldn't do. Oh, it's heads, yay. This is kind of a negotiation with life. And it's like, cool, you could play that game with your mum and dad, but can you play it with Big Daddy? Or Big Mama? No, you can't. Because life has its intelligence. Our parents' intelligence has been usurped, has been twisted, because they haven't done the work yet, and that's why we have to do the work for our generation, and that will set them free too. And that seems like an awfully big thing to hold inside of ourselves, and it can be. I just speak the truth. And it's like whoa, I'm doing this not just for me, but for everybody around me. But doesn't that make me the most powerful I know? No one else seems to be dealing with this stuff, But we are, aren't we? Why? Why you? That gives you the extra little something inside, isn't it? And remember, to those who will be given a lot, much will be required, or much will be expected. This is the work you've agreed to come into play. It will change your life. It will change the people's lives around you. And that is very, very powerful. But to do that, we have to take responsibility and do the inner work for ourselves. And just in doing that, the others around us will change. If we go in with the intention to change them, though, they won't. And so we have to find that balance too. So what is negotiating with life? It's avoidance again, isn't it? Oh, I'll only do this thing if you give me this. It's like, oh, I'll only make videos if, God, you bring me X amount of clients or whatever. It's like, no, it doesn't work like that. That's not selfless service. That is self-service. And whilst it will help other people, what's the intention? You can't hide the intention from God or higher intelligence, isn't it? Because it's all registered. So we have to, in a way, work with our surrender element, our let go muscle into life, so that we really can be with the pain without finding subtle ways to escape. And that brings me into the fourth hazard that you must avoid. And this is the most powerful, most important one that's very much linked to the rest of them. And that's subtly negotiating with feeling. What does that mean? Subtly negotiating with feeling. So we've talked about avoidance of feeling. And sometimes we can say to ourselves, I don't want to feel the pain for the fear that it will never go away. And so I never feel it. This is a subtle negotiation tactic so that I don't have to feel. But do you want to know something really powerful? Again, another paradox. As soon as you are willing to say to yourself, I'm willing to be with this pain, love it, nurture it, and even if it lasts an eternity, I'm willing to hold it, be with it, feel into it, enjoy the burn of it. Then and only then will it begin to transform, because you've taken all of the power away from it. Now the ego at this point is probably saying, I don't want to do that. I don't want it to last forever. And it's cool, but that's your negotiation tactic that keeps you in the dark night of the soul rather than moving through it gracefully the way that we can. So it's okay to not be strong enough yet. It's okay to negotiate with life. It's okay to negotiate with feeling. It's okay to avoid. It's okay to go and do all of these crazy things that we do and know why you're doing them. I've done them too. But when you are ready, and right now maybe you're just getting ready to be ready, but when you are ready to feel the pain, if you want, we can do it together in the Freedom Blueprint, or you can do it on your own with the help of these videos and the many other wonderful teachers that are out there. But all it will take is true surrender, which is not waving the white flag. It's saying, I'm ready for this process, whatever the hell it throws at me. So here's to feeling pain, but only when you're ready. Lots of love. Namaste.